What is going on YouTube? It is Primitive here, and today I'm going to be bringing you top 4 of Otakon regionals. We just had top 8 featuring this D-Reaper once again, where they were able to take down Security Control, but now they have to face Alphamon, one of the most hyped decks in the format. In this top 4, there were 2 Alphamons on the other side of the bracket from each other, so potential for Alphamon finals, but this D-Reaper has been on a tear, been able to take down multiple Alphamons in Swiss leading up to this, so we'll have to see how it's going to play out. Hitting that Coda early is very nice, especially hitting that Greymon, because now you are going to be having your Memory Tamer out and then also being able to search for your most important ultimate pretty much. So starting to turbo up on the Mother D-Reaper though, the Bubbles being able to get 2 sources underneath, and then Pendulum Feet being able to get some search out as well. And now the UG coming out, that is going to be very nice to be able to get more memory and draw, but giving the opponent 3 memory is going to allow them to be able to get this Jerry out, get the Jerry effect activated. Looks like they are sorting which way they want to go through. There were some pretty important cards bottomed by that Jerry, but I don't really think this is a matchup where it will go that long to where those bottom deck cards matter too much, but you don't want to take the risk, sort it there correctly anyway. But now think about if they wanted to promote, they are going to promote and get the UG memory. They can use the Greymon to be able to get the protection from deletion from effects, but first they are going to get the blocker retaliation from the Dex Greymon, and then actually just hit the black memory boost, be able to search out, get the memory boost set up, and now you have the ability to go into the Greymon, put your opponent to 1. They will gain a memory from the Dorumon unless they don't put anything underneath, but they're going to put a second Dorumon underneath, so now gaining 2 memory back up to 1. I don't know how you want to play out from here. You're not really threatened too much by being deleted by anything. We saw these Starmons, but I don't think they're going to get enough on board to be able to clear with Starmons, especially now. Actually, no, the Dorumon prevents DP reduction, so yeah, I don't think there's any way for them to get rid of this instead of swinging over it. But now that they left it suspended, that is a little bit scary. They did want to go with the UG, put the Dorumon underneath, but now the Breath of the Gods coming out, making a lot more sense now. Going to be able to get that reboot and just put the opponent at 1. They're still going to be able to get the Searcher out there, and they can reduce the cost for, it looks like 5 right now, so they could play out something like a Jerry. Going to go for swings in first, but I assume you're going to want to get a D-Reaper out here for free or for reduced cost. Play something like the Pilates set for 1. Gatekeeper's costing 6 right now, so I think it's a little bit too late for that. So here comes the Jerry out for free, going to get the effect. Hits 1 Searcher, almost whiffed right there, but 2 Pendulum Feet, an X Antibody, and the Death Xmon to the bottom. So now with the Jerry played for free this turn, it's really just what D-Reaper are you going to play to pass turn. Going to go with the Searcher, sets up to be able to put that underneath and be able to play another Searcher for 1 next turn. But now on the Alphamon side, they have the access to 5 memory with that black memory boost, so could get a lot going here. Gonna go with the Darugamon and Raising. Puts the X Antibody underneath, so the 2 Dorumons are going to proc, be able to get +2 back to 3, and then Digivolve for 1. Gain the memory back, but also be able to pop these Starmons, the only thing with a level. But now Alphamon comes out, nothing 2D Digivolve, but can put the Orymon underneath. Now with the Alphamon or Yukon mode live, you can technically clear the board. You could swing over the Jerry, then the other D-Reaper cards are all 3 to play cost. You could pop there. You could also swing in and try to just go for the aggression. You do have +1 security attack. No UG tap right there, but they are going to go, here's the Alphamon or Yukon mode, so they are just going to swing, use the X Antibody option to Digivolve up for 3 and 3 checks. Okay, so they are going to use the UG, so 3 checks there. Hits the X Antibody option, so gaining another memory to go to 4, and then hits Bubbles to put another source underneath. So now D-Reaper is sitting at 7 sources, so the Reaper is live, but now going to be trashing sources. Looks like they are getting rid of 7, so going to go back to 3 memory. Not going to be able to unsuspend because of the Orymon effect already going off, but on top of going back to 3, we also have the black memory boost, so could go up to 5. But you have to be worried about that Reaper coming out. You are on a clock, and that clock is about to get to time. Technically, you could also swing over the Yukon mode with Reaper, because when you swing, you are going to be able to put the 2 D-Reapers underneath, auto putting it at 17 and swinging over, because it does look like they got rid of the Darugamon source from the Alphamon, so it's sitting at just the 16k, not 17k. But going to be able to build on board here using that memory boost to be able to play the Ryudomon, go into the Darugamon, and then passing turn with the Kongu. I think that's just to give minimal memory. That's not really going to stop anything here. The only thing that would be potentially attacking attacking this turn is the Reaper, and Reaper is obviously at a much higher cost, but finally got an X antibody underneath the Mother D Reaper here, so got enough sources. Gonna be able to suspend to get rid of the blocker here, and now it looks like it is Reaper time. We're looking at how many sources we have left, just the X antibody option left, but you're gonna be able to get that boost on the Reaper when they go for the unsuspend. So going to swing, use the when attacking unsuspend effect, which will happen before they battle, to boost up to 17. Going to start going in for security now. I don't know how many attacks they have to be able to go in for game. Swinging last check, but nope, there are 2 more Reapers, so going to be able to unsuspend and swing one more time. So many searchers already going through, so what was looking very close just came out to be that game with the Reaper. They even swung over the Alphamon just for safety, so that just had more than enough swings to be able to go for game. But here we go once again, Alphamon player choosing to go first because D Reaper is so strong, going first with those searchers for 1. So playing out the searcher, playing out the pendulum feet to search, but D Reaper already starting to set up Coda with the memory tamer searching, black memory boost searching, so already have access to a ton of memory, but gonna have to start to build up quick. Already looks like with the turn 2 Jerry that D Reaper is definitely looking to speed up quick. If you aren't able to get rid of Jerry this turn and it's able to get its effect off next turn, it's gonna be so plus for the D Reaper player. Now another pendulum feet coming out since they're going to go to 3 anyway, and double hit off of there, so looking like a lot of resources for both players. But with a Ryudomon coming out right here, there is definitely some pieces being missed by the Alphamon player here, probably just the champion slot, or else they would have already digivolved up. Pop the memory boost to go for the Dorumon to put the opponent at 1, but more cycle here. But once again, leaving the Jerry alive means another searcher to go underneath, so play for 1, put it underneath, go for Jerry. Hits 5 searchers right there, so that's not something I see very often, but now there are already an incredible amount of sources, enough to play another Jerry for free, so now we're already up to 5 searchers underneath with the X antibody, so 6 sources to reduce, and then 5 of these searchers for the Reaper. Not to mention the fact that we have 2 pendulum feet on the board that can just swing in right now, a 3rd pendulum feet coming out, so there's just a lot of aggression coming out. The Alphamon player definitely isn't out, especially now that we see the champion, but they are starting to fall behind a little bit. With double Jerry coming out, that means that there's almost going to be guaranteed 2 more searchers coming out, so let's hit here. We do get a source, bottom decking a lot of valuable pieces, but with how much Jerry cycling is going, they might just get there, so can't fully see all of the pieces that are being bottom decked just because of the angle of the camera, but is perfect hitting off these searchers, plus has 1 for turn. So now with all the buffs, they are going to be so big to just be able to probably survive in security. Not enough to survive that Oriyumon though, but the 2 pendulum feet swinging in with the Jerrys. This does threaten next turn to where if we did actually just kind of slow down a little bit with the searchers, we could have swung in with the Jerry and potentially even just gone in for game that turn. But the board state is looking pretty rough right now with the Gatekeeper coming out and the Gatekeeper definitely being live. There's not a lot you're going to be able to do here. There's just 5 Digimon that can swing next turn to your 3 security. Reaper is already also live, so there's just a very high chance that unless you hit something like Breath of the Gods and security, that you could just go down next turn. This Dorgreymon is not safe enough by itself out here. Not that it necessarily will get deleted because the only deletion is Starmons, but it is one of those things where it's not going to be super impactful, and if you swing, it is going to get swung over. That Gatekeeper is sitting at 19k or something like that right now. So finally choosing the source they want to put underneath with the Dorugreymon there, went with the Dorumon to gain the memory, and now they got the Alphamon out here. Don't have a big impact turn here with the Alphamon or Yukin mode. There's just way too many play costs out and way too many things that can attack, but you can swing over something and unsuspend with the Oryukin mode, so gonna hit one of the Jerrys, makes sense. There's no reason you'd swing over a Pendulum Feet over a Jerry, but now if you go into Alphamon or Yukin mode, all you're getting rid of is the Gatekeeper, which is annoying, but there's still going to be 3 swings on board right now to your 3 security with potential Reaper coming out, and choosing what sources to trash. Just going to get the 3 to go to 1. I don't think you have the sources to be able to go for game here, especially because you already used the unsuspend effect, so you're definitely not trying to win the game here. You could swing over one of the suspended Digimon if you want, but they choose to go with the Cool Boy. Breath of the Gods going to the bottom, so that is good to know as the Alphamon player, because these decks are usually only playing maybe 1 of those in the deck, 2 of those, so with 1 going to the bottom right now, you have a pretty good chance of just maybe going in for game right here. We're gonna swing letting all the swings go through, does have blocker retaliation still, and that Jerry is going to survive the checks. They're sitting at 9k, but has the X antibody there as a 10th source, so going to be able to play the Gatekeeper out for 1. Gonna play out the Reaper, so going to force the trade to happen here. Gonna be sitting at, after the swing, I believe, 19k, so going to swing, unsuspend, put the sources underneath. Going to get hit with the blocker retaliation, since they did gain that from the Dexter Greymon there, and I mean, the game doesn't end here with that Reaper, but it does essentially end here. Your opponent has now 5 security with a Gatekeeper out. The Gatekeeper's security tech -1 isn't live, but I mean, 3 Pendulum Feet, Jerry, Gatekeeper. There's just no cards that saves Alphamon here. Not even Congo will do it. Gatekeeper just gets right through that and able to swing for game. There's no blockers or recovery that's going to be able to save it. So I believe this is where Alphamon is going to have to just call it up. And in the end, they're going to scoop it up. There just isn't the cards in the game to be able to save you in this situation. So Mother D Reaper making it all the way to the finals, winning 2-0 over what is potentially people's favorite #1 deck in the format. So big showing there, but also big shout out to the Alphamon player. Make it all the way this far, so congrats on your top 4 and your invite. But with that being said, if you enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe, because I'll be bringing you even more content from Otakon Regionals, as well as just BT9 content in general. But with that being said, I hope to see you next time. Hope you have a fantastic day. Peace out.